Hi everyone, it's Princess and you're watching or listening to Inspired Our podcast. So I'm recording this on the 1st of November and I just wanted to do this episode kind of like an update for our lock-in. I think I did an episode for locking in. I can't remember. I'm talking so much. I can't remember the things I'm talking about. But something that has been stuck with me for this week and it has kept me disciplined somewhat is thinking about how every step we take today is an investment towards our future self. And I mean, we know this, but just seeing this pasted on my wall, because I actually put it on my wall, has just been like, wow. So if I choose to stay in bed and not record this podcast, because it's really early, it's almost 11 and this is the second podcast I'm recording today, so I had to wake up early in order to be doing this by this time. Okay, well, now 11 doesn't sound so early anymore. But anyways, realizing that every single thing that we do is a step towards our dream self, it keeps you grounded and it keeps you intentional about how you're choosing to spend your time, because the time would pass anyways. If you think it's too late, well, if you keep wasting time, it's going to become even worse. So the best you can do is to do it now. Yes, it would have been much better if you did it earlier. It's November, literally 2 months till the end of the year. It would have been so much better if you started in January, trust me. It would have been so much better if I started some things that I'm starting now in January. But you know, I can't keep crying over spilled milk. I have to count my losses and drink the rest from the carton, if that makes sense. So something I've been thinking about the most is lucky girl syndrome. I remember 3 years ago, it was trending so hard on the internet and I was like, this is such BS. There's no such thing as being lucky, blah blah blah. But I had to rethink it and I had to rethink what it really means to be lucky. And what I've realized is that it means that you have to put yourself in situations where it looks like you're lucky. Because there are things that I have done and people would say, oh wow, you're so lucky. And I just go, it's not luck. It was actually intentional efforts that made me get the things that I want or the things that I have. And I saw a video on TikTok, because yes, I scroll a lot on TikTok. I saw a video on TikTok and it was like, caption was, getting dressed every day because I know it improves my chances of being lucky. And I realized that, well, lucky is just a word and it's just an umbrella of putting in the work, pushing yourself to places that will make you lucky, getting outside of your comfort zone. So putting yourself in places that would increase your chances of luck. So thinking lucky girl syndrome, oh, it just happens or it doesn't. No, you actually have to be expectant and you have to believe in yourself. And if you're expecting something, no one is going to come on your door and knock and say, hi, this is the thing that you want. You have to actively and intentionally put yourself out there. You have to show up for yourself, because you get nothing from sleeping all day or you get nothing from bed rotting and doom scrolling all day. So if you've been thinking lucky girl syndrome and if you're like me thinking it's such BS, it's time to reevaluate it, because people that are getting lucky, they're actually putting in, you may not see it or you're definitely not seeing the effort that they're putting in, because they only show the other side where they're getting the results that they want. And you might think to yourself, wow, I wish I was so lucky. Don't be fooled. They're putting in the work, they're putting in the efforts. And doing these little things every single day is actually what it means to plant seeds towards your future. And let's never forget the inner work that it takes to become your dream self, because yes, you have to do external things, you have to put yourself in rooms, you have to talk to people, you have to network, but you have to do all these things. You also have to put in the inner work. And by inner work, I mean being positive, having a positive mindset towards things, believing in yourself, having faith in yourself and faith that things would work out for you. And by inner work, I mean reframing your negative thoughts, parenting yourself, journaling, learning, applying, because all these things makes you a better person inside before it starts showing on the outside. You would immediately notice when someone has a negative mindset towards life. You would immediately notice by the things that they say and by how they even treat things in their life. So you have the responsibility to do those things for yourself, because I'm not here to judge anyone for being such a negative Nancy, because we've all been there, and it's also internalized word from places we don't know where we picked it up, but we just know suddenly we are so negative. We don't have faith in anything. We don't have faith in ourselves. We don't believe in ourselves. You also have the responsibility to increase your luck. Back to my first point, you have to increase your luck. And I know doing all these things, you may be faced with rejection and you may be faced with failure. I did a podcast like a month ago and I was basically talking about how rejection is so hard, but we just have to keep moving, because one yes would make everything disappear. If you're trying to get a job, for example, it doesn't matter how many no's you get as long as you get one yes. So don't stop because you're getting so many no's. Don't stop because you're not seeing any results yet. If if you stop, then all those no's count. But if you keep going, then all those no's, they won't count. It wouldn't matter. And let us stop feeling like rejection or failure defines who you are as a person. It might not have been your time. There may still be things that you need to learn in order to get to where you want to be. If you're trying so hard to get something and it's not there yet, it doesn't mean that it's not meant for you. It doesn't mean that you should not do it. It's not a sign that you should give up. There are still things that you have to learn. See it as a journey, and don't forget to smell the flowers on the way, because there's so much that we have to learn. I see people say that you're not ready for it yet. You're not ready for the dream life that you want yet, and that's why you haven't gotten to it. And I choose to hold on to it because it keeps me going. When I think of how I'm not there yet because it's not my time, or I still have a lot to learn, I'm okay with that. I don't mind learning. I don't mind improving myself. I don't mind growing every single day, as long as I know it's going to happen soon. I believe that it's going to happen soon. So rejection or delay is not proof that it's not for you. It is for you, and you desire it so much because it's a version of you that has it. You just need to close the gap in between you currently and your future self. I also saw something else. I'm always saying something. But it was, if someone came up to you and told you you're 50 failures away from your dream life, how fast will you fail? How consistent will you be in trying just so that you can get those 50 failures out of the way to become your dream self, or to finally get to where you want to be? And I was like, well, I would fail every single day so that it would take me at least 50 days, or if I could fail twice a day. But I just knew that if I was 50 failures away from getting to where I want to be, I would be putting in the work like crazy. So we should just think to ourselves, and life is not so certain like that we would know, okay, 50 failures away, I would get it. We don't have that luxury of certainty. But what we do know, or what we can choose to believe, is that if we keep going, it's going to happen one way or the other. Never let uncertainty stop you. The only thing certain about life is the fact that it's uncertain. You could never predict to a T how your life would look 1 year from now. You could never predict to a T what is going to happen, how it's going to happen. You could have your plans, you could have your goals, you could have your aspirations, but you never truly know. And that's why having a positive mindset is really important. It's not just believe in yourself, journal, do your affirmations. It's literally the only way to survive out here. If you don't have a positive mindset, how are you going to show up for yourself? If you don't truly believe or know that what you're doing would make sense in the end, how are you going to show up for yourself? It's going to be really difficult, and frankly, I don't even think you can show up for yourself if you don't think it's going to happen. So if you see me saying, oh, my affirmations, or if you see me thinking about how to rewire my brain to be positive, it's literally survival. There's no other way. I really think believing in yourself is really hard when you're listening to a lot of negative things and a lot of negative people, a lot of people who have given up on their own dreams and who have given up on their own things. If you keep listening to them, or if you put yourself in close proximity with them, very soon you're going to start thinking like them, and you're going to start talking like them, and you're going to start doing like them. With that being said, just stick to the plan. Even if the journey is looking scary, even if the process is not looking like what you had imagined, we need to remember the quote that the end justifies the means. As long as you get to where you're going, it doesn't matter how rocky the road was or how painful it was. As long as you got there, that is all that matters. And we should never ignore where we're going just because of how it's difficult right now. I want to believe that our goals are bigger than the rejection we're facing right now. I want to believe that our goals are bigger than the self-doubt, the unbelief, the negative thoughts from time to time. And what has single-handedly helped me with my negative thoughts is journaling, because I know that I'm just in my head. These things are not true. Because think about it, if other people can achieve their goals, they can live their own dream life. Me too. I can also achieve my goals, and I can also live my dream life, as long as I put in the effort. Maybe sometimes we think we are so special and it's not going to happen for you because of this sole reason. But it's like, no, it has happened for thousands of others. It's definitely going to happen for you. So don't be all up in your head thinking it's not going to happen for you. And this really feels like, oh, motivational. Even though I don't like to be so motivational, but at the end of the day, sometimes we just need a little motivation and a little reflection on everything that has happened in this 1 month. This episode is going to come out well into November, or maybe I might just put this one out first. I don't know. But one thing that we should never forget is that even though it doesn't make sense right now, it's going to make sense later. You can never connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect it looking back. And how would you look back? When you've actually gone on the journey, when you've actually put in the work, and then you look back and you think, wow, okay, that had to happen for this to happen. This had to happened this way for this to have happened. So even though there's so much confusion and you don't know what you're doing, trust me, I don't really think anyone really knows what they're doing. But we're just showing up either ways. We're just putting in the work. We're just trying our best. So yeah, every time you invest today, see it as a building block for your dream life. And every time you invest, that could be showing up for yourself. That could be having a boundary, enforcing that boundary. That could be choosing yourself. That could be choosing peace. No matter what it is, you're investing in your dream self. Life is confusing, but at the same time, there's so much abundance in life, and it's our duty to make sure we find that abundance. So if you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a like or a comment, subscribe if you're feeling cute, and I'll see you in my next week's episode.